So now, if we are to contrast, we must contrast within what we call the scientific mentality. You remember what I said about magic. And magic is very well included in witchcraft. With the magic mentality, the way we explained, and I explained, I don't want to repeat it now, we shall go too far. You see very clearly that the scientific mentality is analytic. It is experimental. It is a mentality of the laboratory. Instead, since witchcraft is part of religion, this analysis that we find in the science is not there. It is not there. It is a question of belief. You are told something and you believe it. And you believe it. So, the belief in witchcraft cannot really go hand in hand with the scientific mentality. The good thing is that for us who are studying philosophy, we know something about it. Because even the philosophical mentality does not go with that scientific mentality that I'm speaking about. Why? Because the science deals with what is empirical, what can be measured, what can be felt, what can be seen, what can be heard, and so on, what can be experimented upon in the laboratory. But in philosophy, when I speak about the ultimate causes, I speak about accidents, I speak about essence, and so on. These things you will never find them anywhere except in the human mind. You will not find them. So in some way we are used to that mentality that does not experiment in the laboratory. We are used to finding the causes in reason. Because the philosopher does not take a knife to cut the tomato and say, let me see why this tomato becomes red, but it was green. No, just find a principle that can hold two different determinations, one green and one red, in the tomato without cutting it. This is the way we find out the philosophical principles. Now, in the religious milieu, you see, for example, what an effort has been done to convince the world of science that God exists. The effort, those who have studied philosophy of religion, then theodicy, and so on and so forth, you know what I'm speaking about. That you start the topic and end up unsatisfied, but you are convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that God exists. And yet all the reasons you give for the existence of this God whom we serve, whom we worship, whom we love, the reasons you give for his being present will be counteracted by the man of science in many ways. But in the end, you part ways, each one is convinced in his own way. This is why I say that beliefs in witchcraft, you can try to prove them scientifically, but you are going to fail. At a certain moment, you will have to believe something. Let me give an example. Every time one is to be beatified or declared saint, the church asks for miracles. And the miracles have really happened. Because if this person today was so seriously sick, and even given the time this person live in this world, then the following day, he has nothing. These things have happened. He has nothing. What does the doctor say? Many times the doctor says, I don't know what happened, but normally this person cannot be healthy today according to his situation yesterday. Okay? And these things have happened. Verifications have been made on the basis of such things. It means that at a certain moment, even if you want to use science, you use science. Science has got its limits. The limits of science is to deal only with empirical reality. And in man, even in nature itself, there is something that is supra-empirical. Unless you want to believe that even man has no soul or spirit, that science will tell us no, since we cannot put it in the laboratory, measure it, and that, so it just does not exist. This is the cause of materialism. This is the very cause of materialism. And we know very well that sound reasoning has proved that materialism is erroneous. Okay? Good. Now,